Final Oscar predictions are here. So I did this thing where I put my predictions in my notes app and I locked it. I did the password protect, which I know is stupid because I know the password, goddammit. But I did that a while ago because I truly didn't want anyone else's opinions, just my own, and I locked it in there, okay? And I locked it in, like, I don't know when this is going up, but I locked it in a few days ago, and then I went to other people and I was like, okay, now let me see what other people are saying. Now let me look at the anonymous Oscar ballots. And it pisses me off because I thought I was doing things differently. I guess not. A lot of us are doing the same things, even in the categories where we say, like, oh, this is really tough. So I might make some on-the-fly changes now, but, we'll see. I honestly don't care about being right. Like, I'm just doing this for fun. And please, my predictions don't reflect how I feel about the movies. I know when I predict one thing over a favorite, some people take that as a slight on that movie. It's really not that deep. Best Picture, I'm not in the mode of wasting time, so that is Oppenheimer. Let us move on. Best Director, Christopher Nolan. Let's move on. Best Actor, I needed to see SAG or BAFTA happen. It did not. I'm going with Cillian Murphy. I guess there's still like a 15% chance that Paul Giamatti takes it, but I am going with Cillian Murphy in the Oppenheimer frontrunner sweeper. Now, Best Actress is one of those categories that I was referring to where it is absolutely a coin toss. I really think it is, and yet I'm seeing everyone go with Lily Gladstone. I really thought more people would have gone with Emma Stone, and I was ready to go with Emma Stone because she has a better package, I guess. BAFTA's big, Poor Things is big. No one really thinks Killers of the Flower Moon is in contention in any other category. And I was ready to do it, and Lily Gladstone missed a nomination, but the SAG part is so interesting to me. Not only because it's the last award show now, where it used to be BAFTA, so that timing really matters, but also with how Killers of the Flower Moon was going and how Poor Things was going, and considering it's freaking Emma Stone compared to Lily Gladstone, how did Lily Gladstone win SAG? To me, and I really do think this is a coin toss. What do I say every time I talk about Emma Stone? I say Arizona's Own. She's literally my favorite actress. Everyone needs to calm down. But to me, I can rationalize in my head Lily Gladstone missing a BAFTA easier than Emma Stone not winning SAG. I can try to find reasons why Lily Gladstone missed BAFTA. The jury, I guess she wasn't top 3, but hey, she could have been 4 or 5 for all we knew. But Emma Stone losing SAG is much harder for me to rationalize. So because of that, I will be joining people with Lily Gladstone, but I don't feel good about that. I really don't. It almost makes sense to me that Emma Stone is going to be a 2-time Oscar winner, but every time I've been in a tough category, at least in my head, even before I had this channel, I usually side with momentum and what happened. So I'm going with Lily Gladstone. I don't feel good about that, though. Supporting actor, Robert Downey Jr. Let's move on. Supporting actress, Divine Joy Randolph. Let's move on. Original screenplay, I feel good about Anatomy of a Fall. I think most people do. It just feels right. It feels right. I think it's going to win. It won the BAFTA. Anatomy of a Fall. Let's move on. Adapted screenplay. So this is where it's really interesting because American Fiction really hasn't lost, and it's very confusing. The fact that it won BAFTA when that was its only nomination is, I don't even know what the right word on that is. Fucking flabbergasted, it was crazy. It won USC Scripter. And yet there's a part of me where I'm like, is this really a sweeper? Is this really going to happen? And to the Barbie point where people say, hey, Barbie has never competed against American Fiction, I take that into consideration. I do. And I do think people are overestimating the decline of Barbie. But I can't go with Barbie here. And Oppenheimer, it feels weird considering it's such a dialogue-heavy movie. In a movie that is going to win 8 or 9 or 7 Oscars, but American Fiction hasn't lost. It's about a writer. They like that witty dialogue. I will go with American Fiction, but I'm not as confident as everyone else is. Cinematography, I'm trying to find where the surprises will be, and there's a part of me that does want to say Poor Things here because it would help in other categories if I pick Poor Things to win somewhere. But I will stick with Oppenheimer. It feels like it's really his time, Hoyt van Hoytema's time to win an Oscar. Oppenheimer, it'd be a good win. It'd be a good win. But there is a part of me that kind of wants to say Poor Things, but I'm not brave enough to do it. Editing, this is Oppenheimer. We can move on. Sound, Zone of Interest is tempting, and it did win the BAFTA, but I'm going to assume on a broader level, Oppenheimer is still going to win that. It won some of the guilds, and that correlation with editing is still strong. and like it's still Oppenheimer. Like that is a showcase. Zone of Interest would be an insanely cool win. Do not get me wrong. That'd be nuts. I'd love it. But Oppenheimer is just as worthy. I'm sticking with Oppenheimer. Okay, production design. Okay, so here we go. Let's strap in for a second here, okay? Because this is where things get interesting. It's between Barbie and Poor Things. We know this. Poor Things is the heavy favorite right now, and I get that, and I know why it is. And to the point where I mentioned that, are people overestimating how like dead Barbie is? Possibly. Is Barbie Black Panther and Poor Things is the favorite? Or is Poor Things going to take this? Is it going to split? Is Poor Things going to take both? There's a lot of options at play here. There's a part of me that wants to say Barbie for both. And I know people are going to take that as like, oh my gosh, you just love Barbie. Like, that's it. And people think I don't like Poor Things, which is very weird. But that doesn't feel right either, because then I'd have Poor Things going home with nothing. And that doesn't make any sense to me either. There's a part of me that wants to say Barbie for both, but I can't do that. Poor Things, 11 nominations going home with nothing does not make sense, which is why I was referring to cinematography. If I picked Poor Things, it'd be easier. But fuck it, I'm a coward. Production design, I'm going to go Poor Things. Costumes, I'm going to go Barbie. I don't care. It's a split. I'm not even trying to be safe. Whatever. If it's a lone production design winner, at least it's happened before, at least it's happened. 11 nominations going home with nothing hasn't happened in a really long time. I can't buy that, especially with Poor Things being very well received. Can't do it. Makeup and hairstyling, I could go with Poor Things here also, but gosh, Maestro, I've always felt like it's gonna be the winner. I've always felt like that. And like Kazuhiro is a legend already. It won at the Guild. I'm gonna stick with it. Maestro wins makeup. It's happened before. It's okay. Original score, this is Oppenheimer. We can move on. Visual effects. Okay, visual effects is interesting. Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, is excellent. Shout out to you. You know who you are. I've seen you in the comments. Like, that is such a deserved nomination. It's fantastic. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. Y'all know I love that movie. Can't do it. Napoleon, has other nominations, and people are saying it feels like the most Best Picture nominee, which is typically what wins. I'm sorry, I gotta stand on business. I cannot pick Napoleon. It didn't even win BAFTA. I can't do that. And then you're left with the creator and Godzilla -1. Now, the creator won Visual Effects Society, the VES, and that makes sense. I've said before on my video with the Oscar expert, actually, that personally, I would pick the creator. And the creator has an additional nomination, and that bodes well for it. And I know Napoleon has production design. That's a big stat too. Whatever. You have to pick and choose your battles here. But I feel like the narrative that the creator did so much with a little budget was completely overtaken by Godzilla -1. And then you say, oh, but Godzilla couldn't even win its own category. It lost to Guardians of the Galaxy. And that's totally fair. But this is so stupid. I can't picture them opening the envelope and reading the creator. I can't picture it. I have to stick to my gut. And the fact that it's never really been in something big like this, I envision Godzilla -1. So I'm going with that. I thought I was going out of a limb on that, and I'm actually surprised to see a lot of people are predicting that. So now I feel less cool. But whatever, I'm half Japanese. I can do that. Godzilla -1 for visual effects. Original song, What Was I Made For literally won the Grammy for like record of the year. It's gonna win. If Barbie doesn't win here, I'm sorry. I'm not going to believe it's because the Academy hates Barbie. It's because it vote split, but I don't think that's going to happen. What Was I Made For, I think, is going to win for sure. Animated feature, this isn't a lock by any means, but I'm still comfortable voting for, or predicting, I should say, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, especially when you open it up to the entire branch. I think Spider-Man is just more accessible. I still think it's more seen. As brilliantly animated as The Boy and the Heron is, and the fact that it won Globe, it won BAFTA, that's a big deal. Spider-Verse won Critics' Choice, PGA, and swept the Annies. When it plays broad to multiple people, I think Spider-Man still wins out. We'll see, though. We'll see. There's a narrative more so towards Boy and the Heron, absolutely, than Spider-Verse, but we'll see. Documentary feature, I don't have much to add. I think this is 20 Days in Mariupol. Four Daughters would be next. I'm still always confused on these nominees here, but 20 Days feels right. And then you have international feature, which is a Zone of Interest, and that's a done deal also. Okay, bing, bang, boom. That was very quick, but, that's how I like to do things. I feel good enough about these. There is that part of me that wants to go elsewhere, and maybe I'll do that on a separate time, but, I guess I feel good enough for now. But yeah, I will see you all on Sunday, or technically Monday, I guess, because I really got to get the video out fast because I'm going on vacation literally the morning after. But yeah, Oscar Sunday. See you then. Have a good time. Hopefully I'll try to live stream before though. I'll do one more live stream before. So stay tuned for that. My mind is on Dune Part 2, like fully. So, I'm ready to get these over with.